Hey, welcome back to this new video tutorial of Akeneo. In today's video tutorial, we'll be checking out Akeneo Sylius connector. Now, using this particular module, the admin of the Akeneo would be able to connect his Sylius web store with the Akeneo there and thereby manage thousands of products very easily. Kindly note that this particular module works with the simple and the configurable product types there. So basically, using this connector, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to connect your Sylius web store with the Akeneo PIM software there, and you will be able to create categories, basically attributes, products, product models and variations in Akeneo, and you can export all of them from Akeneo into your Sylius store there. So what I'll be doing in this particular demonstration today, I'll be taking you through the workflow in the admin backend panel, where I'll be showing you how we can set up the Sylius credentials in the Akeneo backend panel there. Kindly note that you can add multiple Sylius accounts within the Akeneo backend panel there as per your own requirement for your different Sylius stores. And we'll see how we can set up the credentials in the first place in the Akeneo backend panel for the Sylius store. Apart from that, we'll be seeing how we'll be doing the attribute mapping there in the Akeneo backend for the Sylius attributes with the Akeneo attributes there for the image attributes as well and the other attributes that are left over. Apart from that, what I'll be doing is I'll be showing you the workflow in the Akeneo backend panel, where I'll be creating a product and we'll be exporting that product from Akeneo into the Sylius store there. We'll also be seeing how we can export the categories that we have created within the Akeneo there to Sylius store. And similarly, what we need to do is we need to create different jobs for the export profile there for exporting the attributes, categories, products, product models and variations from Akeneo into the Sylius web store there. So for the same, let's hop onto the Akeneo backend panel and let's see the workflow thereafter. So right now you can see that I'm at the Akeneo backend panel here, and on the right hand tab I'm on the Sylius backend panel. So we'll be logging into both of the backend panels one by one. But before I proceed further with this particular video tutorial today, please do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates from our end. And if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. So let's hop on to the Akeneo PIM software backend panel first, and let's log into the Akeneo PIM by entering the username, password and tapping on the login button thereafter. In the meantime, let's go to the Sylius backend panel and let's log into the panel by entering the username, password and tapping on the login button thereafter. Now you can see that we have successfully logged into the Sylius backend panel, and on the left hand side we have the catalog, sales, customers, marketing, configuration and the rest of the options there. Now let's hop on to the Akeneo PIM backend panel there, and we have logged into the Akeneo backend panel as well, as you can see here. Now after the installation of this particular connector, that's the Akeneo Sylius connector, you'll find one connector option in the Akeneo backend panel on the left hand side panel, as you can see. So here, if I scroll down here, you can see that we have the Sylius connector, and if I tap on that, we'll be able to see three different tabs here. One is the documentation for the same, one is the credentials, and one is the attribute mappings. So the very first thing that I want to show you is how we can set up the credentials of Sylius in the Akeneo backend panel. So for that, what you need to do is for more details, you can check the user guide that I've attached within the description of this particular video for a better understanding there. So what you need to do is under the credentials, you need to go to the add credentials button on the top right hand corner, and you need to tap on that. And that will bring up this particular section where you need to add the credentials. So here you have to set up the shop URL. So for setting up the shop URL, you can go to the Sylius backend panel and go to the URL there and copy the particular URL, come back to the Akeneo backend, paste the particular URL, then enter the client ID, client secret, username and password. To know more about how to generate the client ID, client secret, username and the password, you can check the user guide that I've attached within the description of this particular video there. And lastly, you have to select the Sylius version there. So according to your requirement there, just choose that up and then tap on the save button. After you've saved the credentials, what you'll do is you'll be able to see this particular shop URL, its name as activated and default for quick export as active, and from here you can edit, delete, or enable or disable this the status of this particular credential that you've added in the Akeneo backend panel for your Sylius shop there. Now, for example, if I edit this up after we have saved the credentials there, then you'll be on the edit credentials page where you'll find the shop URL, your client ID, your client secret, your username, your password, your Sylius version, and then you'll find the channel mapping wherein you have to map your Sylius channel. That's the default channel at the Sylius with the Akeneo channel, and then you have to choose the default locale and the base currency for the same. So here you can see that the Sylius channel is the fashion_web or the fashion web store that we have selected, and we have mapped it with the Akeneo channel, that's the e-commerce channel, and we have chosen the default locale as English US and the base currency as US dollars. Now these things come up automatically using the API there. After you save the credentials, these data would be automatically displayed to the Akeneo admin there, and he just needs to map these data according to the requirement there. Now if I scroll down here, then we have the locale mapping of the Sylius locale. These are automatically populated as you can see here, and on the right hand side we have the Akeneo locales, and we need to map the Sylius locale with the Akeneo locales as per the requirement there by selecting those up from the drop down there. If the locales are not available in the Akeneo that can be mapped with the Sylius locale say, then you can create those locales in the Akeneo, and then you can map them up with the Sylius locales there. The same goes with the attributes as well. Now after you're done with this edit credential section and you're done here with the channel mapping and the locale mapping, then what you need to do is you just need to tap here on the save button to save the configuration settings for the configuration there. And now let's go back to the Sylius connector there. And on the Sylius connector, then the second tab that we have on the next to the credentials is the attribute mappings. Now under the attribute mappings, we'll be able to map the Sylius attributes with the Akeneo attributes there for the simple products, product models, and the variant product mappings as well. So here you can see that you can see the fields in Sylius with their name, the fields of the Sylius like the name, slug, enabled, variant selection method, description, meta description, meta keywords, short description, price, original price, is shipping required, shipping category, tax category, weight, height, weight, depth, current stock, and tracked. Now you can map these fields in Sylius with the simple product mappings by choosing them up from the drop down here, and if these fields are to be mapped with the simple product mappings there, and if they are not available in the Akeneo, then you can create those up and then you can select them up to map them up with the Sylius fields that are to be mapped with. And similarly you can go with the fields in Sylius with the product models here, similarly with the variant product mappings as well. And after you are done with the what we say as the mapping of the fields in Sylius with the simple products, product models, and variant product mappings here, you're done with this particular section, then you have to come to the image mapping section. Now here for the image attributes that you have in Akeneo, you can choose the image type as well, or you can assign a particular image type here with a particular attribute that needs to be exported from Akeneo while you are exporting it from Akeneo into the Sylius backend there. And you can choose where to add those image attributes and the image types to. For example, we are choosing the model picture, the image type is name, and we are adding it to the main product there. So the model picture in Akeneo would be assigned to the product or the main product in the Sylius there, and similarly you can do the image mappings of the Akeneo image attributes like picture and variant pictures and assign them accordingly to the what we say as the products or the particular sections in the Sylius there. So you can do the image mapping by tapping here on the add image mapping, and that will bring up a particular section where you have to select the image attribute, then the select image type attribute, and image edit to at the Sylius end. So for now let me remove this out, and let's go back to the particular section in the backend there. Now after we are done with the main what we say as the fields of the Sylius mapping with the simple products, models and the variant products there, then we are done with the image mappings. Then we'll come down to the particular section that is the other mappings. Under the other mappings, we'll be mapping the attributes of Akeneo, and we'll select the Akeneo attributes from here. And similarly, we'll go with the other mappings like the variations or the variation values like the color, size, etc. That are the options of the variations there. We need to select them up. And lastly, we have the modify option code in case of the duplicate error. So you can choose it as a yes or a no as per your own requirement. For more info on how this modification option code in case of duplicate error works, you can check the user guide that I've attached within the description of this particular video there. And lastly, you have to go up and you have to tap here on the save button at the top there to save the attribute mappings. Now this was the initial configuration settings wherein we have set up the Sylius credentials in the Akeneo there, and then what we have done is we are done with the attribute mappings there of the fields in Sylius with the fields in Akeneo for the simple product models and the variants there, and we are done with the mapping of the image attributes at the Akeneo end with the particular ones in the Sylius there, and we are done with the other what we say as the other mappings that include the attribute mappings of the leftover attributes and the option mappings there. Now let's see how we can export a product from Akeneo into the Sylius there. So if I go to the Sylius dashboard right now and I go to the products here, and if I scroll down here, you can see that we have different products already there, and here you can see that we also have the categories that we have that are exported from the Akeneo into the Sylius there. That's the master catalog here with the TVs and projectors, cameras, camcorders, webcam, audio and video, etc. Print and scan, clothes, accessories, office, stationaries, etc. So now let's see how we can export a particular product from Akeneo into the Sylius there. So for that, what I'll do is I'll go back to the particular section in the Akeneo backend panel, and I'll go to the product section. And here what I'll be doing is I'll be creating one product. That's a simple product basically for this particular demonstration. So let's create a product here by tapping on the create button on the top right hand corner. You can choose it as a product or a product model. So if we are creating a normal product or a product model, then accordingly we have to create the export profile for the normal product or for the product model or the product variations there. So and then we have to run those jobs to export those product or product models from Akeneo into the Sylius there. So let's go with a simple product there. So I'll choose product here, and let me give the SKU as 123, and let me choose the family here for the product as accessories. So let me scroll down here and let me choose accessories, and let's tap here on the save button thereafter. After I've tapped on the save button here, we have to give the name of the product. Let me, for this demonstration, let's set the product name as 123. Let me choose the collection as spring, and here let me choose the locale as English for the time being, and let me give the description as 123 for the time being. If there's any branding you want to assign it with, you can select that up. You want to give an EAN number, you can give that up as well. Let me close this window here. You can choose a supplier as well. You can give the price in euros and USD. You can give the weight of the product. You can choose the color there, size, composition, or the other data there. And let me add one image here. Let's go with let me go to a particular section here, and let me assign a particular image to this particular product there. So right now I don't have any images here, but let me go to the desktop here and let me see if I have any image here. Okay, so I don't have any image right now. Let me just minimize this out, and let me go to my trash here, and let me restore this image here. Let me come back to this particular section. Let me scroll down here, and let me add this particular image that I have right now available with me, and let me upload that up. Okay, now let me go to the categories and let me assign one category to this particular product. So let's assign the digital camera to this, and then let's come down to the save section and let's tap here on the save button to save this particular product. So you can see that the product has been successfully updated. And now if I go to the product section, you'll see the 1 2 3 product that I've created. It's enabled, as you can see here. Now to export this particular product from Akeneo into the Sylius backend there, what we need to do is we need to create an export job. So I'll go to the export section, and here what I'll do is I'll create an export profile. I'll give the name. Let me give the code as ASD for a quick understanding there. I'll label as ASD, and for the job what I'll do is I'll scroll down to the particular section that says Sylius connector. Now here what you can do is if you are going to export the products, product models, variations, categories and attributes one by one, then you can go with attribute export profile, category only export, product export, product model and variant export. Now if you want to go with all of these things at the same time, then you can create a particular job for the all export that would include the attribute export, category only export, product export, product model and variant export. So for this example what I'll be doing is I'll be going, because we have created a simple product in Akeneo, so I'll go with the product export. If it was a product model, then I would have created the product model profile there. So let me create the product export profile and let me save this profile. As soon as the profile has been selected, the very first thing for the profile what we need to do is we need to go to the properties, and here we have to select the channel. So we'll select the particular channel here, or the credential basically, that's the sylius.webcool.com, Sylius public, the one that the URL that we had edited in the credentials section in the first place. And then under the content here what I can do is I can go with an identifier to export this particular product from Akeneo to Sylius there. And then I'll tap here on the save button. So I'll just be exporting this product, that's the product with the name 1 2 3 from Akeneo to Sylius there, and then I'll tap here on the export button to export the same. Now you'll see that the product export has started. The product export job has started. This will take a bit of time there for the export, and as soon as the export has completed, you'll be able to find this particular product that we had just created in the Akeneo visible in the Sylius end as well. So what you can do is you can filter out the product as per your own requirement there, and that product would then be visible here under this particular section itself. So let's see. Okay, so we have a warning there. Let me check this particular warning that is there. Okay, so let me come back to the particular product there, and what I'll be doing is I'll just go ahead and what I've done is we have forgot something here, and let me scroll down here. Okay, let me give the meta description, keywords. Okay, all right, and then after let me go ahead and let me save this product, and for the German let me give the details here for that particular one. Okay, and let me give the product name, ERP name here. Okay, the meta title, the description. So I'm just giving a demonstration there. So let me save this product now, and now let me again go to the export section and let me search my particular profile that I created for the product export there. And thereafter what I'll be doing is I'll be running this particular product profile once again. So let me open this profile, that's the ASD for the product export from Akeneo to Sylius there, and let me tap here on the export button thereafter. Now we'll just wait for this particular one to complete, and after it has completed, the product would be displayed here on the Sylius end there. So this will take a bit of time there. And in the similar fashion, what we can do is, in the meantime, let's go to the export section. So if you want to, this was for the product export. Now if you want to create the export profile for exporting the categories from Akeneo into the Sylius there, then you can create an export profile here by tapping on the create export profile, set up the code name, label name. So let's set it as DSA, and the job required, I'll just scroll down to the Sylius connector here, and I'll go with the category only export, and I'll tap here on the save button to save the particular export profile. So I've saved the particular profile here, and here I have to select the particular credential for the same, content, e-commerce, locales, and here we have the history, and let's save this up now. In the meantime, let me refresh this particular page here at the Sylius end. Okay, and let's type and let's filter it out. Okay, let's go to the activity there, process tracker. Okay, so again we have one warning here. Let's see this particular warning that we have got. So the brand value, the color, local code for the German, and the rest of the meta keywords for the US. Okay, respond please enter the product slug in main translations. Please enter the product slug in the main translations. So accordingly, after you're done with this, the particular product would be displayed here on the Sylius end there. Now let me show you how we can export the categories from the Akeneo into the Sylius there. For that, I'll go to the settings here, and here I'll go to the categories, and here, for example, let's go to the cameras and digital cameras. And under digital camera, let me create one new category with the name test category. Let me save this up. Digital camera, we have a test category. Let me set it for the Dutch, English, and the French translations there, and let me set the code for this, and let's save this up. After saving it up, you can see that under the cameras we have the digital camera, under that we have the test category. Now if you go to the particular section in the Sylius end, and I go to Texons, and here if I scroll down, here you can see that we have the camera, digital camera, camcorders. Under the camera we have the digital cameras, digital cameras. Under that we have the test category there. Now what I'll do is I'll go to the export section, and under the export section I'll choose the other one that I had created, the profile for the category export. As you can see, I'll open that up. Now this is just taking a bit of time there. So as soon as this particular profile comes up, we'll be running this profile. So let me tap, and let me tap here on the export button. Now this will take some time for the execution depending upon the number of categories that we are exporting from the Akeneo into the Sylius there. And as soon as they are done, we'll be able to see that particular category. So here you can see that red have been 10, written has been 1. Now if I go to the particular section here and I refresh this particular page, you can see under the digital cameras we have the test category available that we had created under the particular section in the Akeneo end there. Now in the same manner, actually I was getting some issues there for the warnings there in the profile in the product creation. So what you need to do is for both of the locales there, depending on upon the number of locales there, you will have to set up the values for the different locales as well for all of the attributes there, and then you need to run that particular export job, and then the product would be exported from Akeneo into the Sylius there itself. Now in the same manner, you can go ahead and you can create the export job for the other two options as well. That are, if I go to the particular section here, that's the Sylius connector. All export would allow you to export all of the attributes, categories, products, product model and variants from the Akeneo to your Sylius backend panel there, using the all export job that you will create. If you want to go with one by one for each of the sections, then you can create different jobs for different sections. Like for attribute export only, you can create an export what we say as the profile there. For category only export, you could create the particular job for the category export. For the product export, you can create a separate profile there or the job, and for the product model and the product variation export, you can create a separate job profile there, and then you can run them up as per your own requirement to export the data that are the attributes, categories, product models and variations from the Akeneo into your Sylius account there. So yes, that was much about the video for the Akeneo Sylius connector today, and I hope that this particular video helped you out in understanding the workflow of this particular plugin. If you still have any questions, queries, suggestions or requirements regarding the same, then you can anytime get back to us at support@webpool.com, or you can raise a ticket at webpool.uedesk.com as well. Apart from that, if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. And lastly, thanks for watching this particular video and have a great day ahead.